The U.S. Department of Justice faces a Friday deadline now to release the Epstein files. The Epstein Files Transparency Act, passed by bipartisan agreement in Congress, signed by President Trump last month, requires the DOJ to release all files related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation by Friday. But there is a catch. The release is anticipated across the country, people hoping these files will shed light on how Epstein got away with sex trafficking crimes for years and who helped him and who may have taken part in those crimes. Our investigative reporter, Terry Parker, is bringing you all the developments on this case. Terry, let's talk about what we can expect to actually see.
Well, Todd, the new law orders the release of nearly all unclassified records, documents, and investigative material held by the DOJ and the FBI on Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and others related to their cases. But what will we really get to see? The government required to release all of the Epstein files by Friday, including documents from the investigation started here in Florida in 2005 through Epstein's plea deal in 2008. Also part of the required release, the 2019 Epstein investigation in New York and the prosecution against Epstein's co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, which resulted in her 2021 sex trafficking conviction. But some items can be withheld to protect the privacy and identification of victims, to safeguard materials depicting child sexual abuse, and to avoid jeopardizing an active federal investigation, though this withholding must be temporary and narrowly tailored. One question people keep asking is, will President Trump be in those files? Former Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg says it's likely, but what's in there about Trump may not be incriminating.
Right now, available to the public is just smoke and speculation. What we've seen from the Epstein emails is that Epstein said that Trump knew about the girls, but he never got a massage. So the worst allegation against Trump based on the Epstein emails is that Trump knew what was going on, although it's unclear as to what Trump supposedly knew, because Epstein didn't make that clear.
While there is expected to be an avalanche of material, there is the possibility the Trump administration could use the ongoing investigation exemption to leave some things out, because the DOJ opened a new investigation into Epstein's association with high-profile Democrats, including former President Clinton.
So the public eventually is going to have to keep their eye on the ball and to demand the release of the Epstein files, because until that happens, there will not be full transparency.
So thousands and thousands of pieces of information required to be released on Friday. We don't know yet if they will be released in batches or all at once. The government also has to give a summary of any redactions and within 15 days, a full list of all government officials and politically exposed persons who are named or referenced. We'll be bringing you the releases as soon as we get them. Terry Parker, WPBF 25 News.